Whoa, America is this Lex, and it's everybody's favorite, J. Cole. Mr. Jermaine Cole just dropped a new record called Port Antonio. Now let's get right into this, cause this is wild. He opens the verse up saying, young Jermaine just walked the straight and narrow. Minimum wage jobs for dinero. But still, my mind was on the zeros. I fiend for the perks, but that was seen flipping birds. So we was skipping church, but my eye was on the sparrows. I done heard of J. Cole when he even was in New York, working some odd university jobs. We know that Mr. Muhammad, that's somebody that he used to pay rent. So J. Cole definitely has some humble beginnings. Then he says, niggas flipping pies, spending thousands on the payroll. Shit, I want to shine too. I want dimes too. Jealous niggas want to know just how my rhymes blew. Mano and mano, I'm Bono. I'm you times two. Now I'm bougie. I done outgrew the fountain blue. But never forgot the spot where I developed my plot. To dwell in the top. That's like a double entendre right there. Because in a way he's saying that's connected to the first verse. Where he's saying that they was skipping church, but his eyes was on the sparrows. So he's saying he never forgot the spot where he developed the plot. The dwell in the top. That's actually fire right there. And even if you don't connect them to the previous bars, he's still saying that he's been projecting his mind to the dwell in the top the whole time. You know what I mean? Like his mind has always been where the sparrows was, projecting in the sky. That's a fire bar. Then he says the Ville, where all my skeletons lock. If I could do it all over, then I never would swap. Or I never would stop. I've seen good, I've seen bad. Had my melanin, had my melanin mocked. I've seen lifelong friends turn to devilish ops. I was Mike in red leather trying to tell him to stop. You better beat it before you see the heavy metal get popped. He was a mean wing with the hell of a shot. But if no team draft king, he gon' bet on a blog. Whoa, crazy. Yeah, I know J. Cole was born in Germany. And J. Cole, he's team light skin. You'll see him. J. Cole moved like a hipster. A 80s hipster. You could tell that he got some in him though. It's just like you don't know where exactly it is. I think it comes out through the music. I think when J. Cole get on a feature with somebody and he gets in his competitive bag, that's when you see that in him. Other than that, you'll see him riding bikes. You'll see him just doing things, and it's whatever you could call it. But J. Cole, he got some in him, the light skin jokes. Look, Drake too. Ayo, J. Cole, Drake had his melanin mocked the whole entire summer. Yo, they mock Drake's melanin more than yours, J. Cole. You'll be aight. When he said he's seen lifelong friends turn to devilish ops, Mike in red leather trying to tell him to stop. You know what? When I first heard that, I thought he was talking about like the Thriller videos for a second, where everybody around him became zombies. But I was like, oh nah, that's Thriller. But when he says Mike in red leather, he's like, hey yo, look, beat it. Hey, y'all know, look, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mike also in the Thriller video, Michael Jackson in the Thriller video, he also had on red. When he says you better beat it, I think that's just a connection to the Beat It record. But when he says he's in Mike in red leather, it's like, yeah, everybody around you become a zombies. And I don't really remember the Beat It video like that. And any of y'all know how it connects to the Beat It music video, then let me know. But now that I think about it, in the Beat It video, Michael Jackson was being like a mediary. You had the boys on one side, then the boys in red, boys in blue on another side. And he was pretty much telling them both, beat it. Don't cause no trouble. Cole could be looking at himself as the peacekeeper here. I don't know, y'all. Let me know if I'm wildin'. When he says that, you better beat it before the heavy metal get popped. Like, when he says he was Mike in red leather trying to tell him to stop, who is he trying to tell stop? I hope it's not Drake and Kendrick, because that's boring. They've been hyping y'all up as the big three for 14 years. I see some people out there saying that J. Cole, he was talking about the people instigating the beef with Drake and Kendrick. And I'm like, yo, you was in the big three too. You should have told them to stop that conversation. Then he says, You better beat it before you see the heavy metal get popped. It sounds like he's trying to tell people to stop instigating. Then he says he was a mean-ass wing with the hell of a shot. I don't know if he meant like a wingman, but then he says, but if no team draft King, he gonna bet on the block. So that's an interesting line. It's like when he says, but if no team draft King, he gonna bet on the block. Cole was a sports player, right? We seen Cole, he went to another country to play basketball. He got drafted by Jay-Z. I don't know if Cole is saying he would have bet on the block. Like, we would have seen Cole on a bicycle running drugs like Diddy's drug mule, Brendan Paul. And then it's crazy because after that he says he want to ball till he fall or till the Federals knock and sit his A on a bench for moving careless with rock. You can't relate lest your father was not around and your mother went out and found someone else and then brought him round. And they salaries then combined when they married, it brought you out of that poverty. Then you moved to a little soft part of town so that when you back in the hood, you feel awkward about it now and your confidence start to drown. But the rapping gave you some positive thoughts and you jot them down. I don't know where he was going with that. I think when he says the part about balling till they fall, the Federals knock, I think here he's talking to a lot of people that got caught up in that street to prison pipeline. Because then when he says, and he wanted to sit his A on a bench for moving careless with rock, I mean, you know, that sound like them crack crimes. People was getting arrested during the crack era when the drug era was wild. And they salaries then combined when they married, it brought you out of poverty. Then you move to a soft little part of town. I don't know if that line could be directed to Drake or Kendrick, but I don't think so. I think J. Cole is actually just speaking to an experience. A lot of young people in the inner cities, when, you know, their parents may break up, I think he's speaking about that dynamic. Or I don't know if he's talking about himself right there. But I don't think so. I think he's just speaking towards an experience. Look, I'm a bit critical of J. Cole. This is fire right here. J. Cole definitely... You know what, we're going to come back to that because they were saying that he addressed dropping out the big three in this. In the second verse, he comes back and says, Benjamin Button, Cole flows reverse time. To find deliveries good as mine, you got to search proms. Top tier lyricism right there. Amazing, very creative J. Cole. I see why they say what they say about you. That is a very amazing bar. And I think that's my favorite J. Cole bar. That might make me run the discography back. I need y'all to let me know in the comments, how much bars like that does J. Cole have? Because that is a top level bar. Great, great, great. Then he says, I'm scaling heights higher than birds can perch. Trying to be something, hoping that peace comes to his cursed mind. One thing's for sure, that I've matured from my first rhyme. Learned long ago you can't please them all, and it hurts trying. Okay, I don't know if that's a reference to when J. Cole first came out. He was clean cut. He was almost a little Jay-Z, little wannabe in a way. Wearing the dress shirts, the dress pants, performing like Jay a little bit. Hey, yo, when J. Cole, man, yo, let me go straight rebel in my own way, and he did the Forest Hills Drive, grew his dreads out. That's when he kind of really became J. Cole. So when he says he learned long ago you can't please them all and it hurts trying, I mean, after that, after he got out of that phase, J. Cole really went into his superstar status. Forest Hills Drive was really that. Well, when I noticed that, it was like undeniable, like, all right, yeah, that's why J. Cole came in under Jay-Z. Forest Hills Drive is when the world noticed it, though. But that's also when he said, man, F all that ish they be talking about. Then he says, in this game, where all you got is your name, like Dirk, I'm smirking at ends trying to besmirch mine. Absurd times where the fake get toted as wise. Cause see the hate in both of your eyes, but the third's blind. When he says, in this game where all you got is your name, like Dirk, I'm smirk. Okay, y'all know they also call Dirk Smirkio. They'll call him Smirkio, Lil Durkio, Smirkio. Smirk at trying to besmirch man. That's very dope. That's very dope. Yo, J. Cole, I hope you not smirk. Yo, J. Cole, don't smirk at me. Ain't nobody tell you to drop out the biggest battle of the millennium. I don't want the Cole fans thinking I was trying to besmirch him. Hey, yo, make sure y'all subscribe too. J. Cole then says he could see the hate in both of the eyes, but the third's blind. So you search lines, but you struggle, which explains the puzzle look on the dull face, says the word finds. Hate what raps become like do not disturb signs. Can't knock it if I see it's about the dough. They instigate the effery because it's profitable. Whoa. See, J. Cole, he know what he's doing there. He know that people gonna be reading through the lines, and the only way to really see what he's saying is to see through it. But if that eye is blind, then you blew it. I think he's just taking a little dig at the audience and people that's gonna be reading the lyrics over. But when he says he hate what raps become, but like do not disturb signs, can't knock it if I see it's about the dough. They instigate the effery because it's profitable. Whoa, again. He's saying he don't like what the rap industry has turned into. He's taking a stand on it. Like do not disturb signs, like not touching that door. He can't knock on the door if he see it's about the dough. And they instigate the effery when it's profitable. But singing stop the violence tunes when it's dudes in hospitals. Pulled the plug because I seen where that was about to go. Whoa. They wanted blood. They wanted clicks to make their pockets grow. They see this fire in this pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I wouldn't have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost the whoa. I would have gained the what? And all for what? Just to attain some more props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for. Since the age of 14, Jermaine is no king. If that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay a whole team of algorithm bot ends just to sway the whole thing. Whoa! Hold on. J. Cole came through with the material. J. Cole got content. Who in the what is J. Cole talking about right there? Now, I just want to say this. Since the beginning of the biggest hip-hop battle of the millennium, because that's how I was touting it, we've always said since day one, we want to hear top-tier lyricism, top-tier skills, the best technique with the music. That's what I wanted to hear. When J. Cole started talking about stop the violence, dudes in hospitals, pulling the plug, people wanting blood, all right, I don't know nothing about that. And on my channel, we don't touch that. I'm honestly saying, as a supporter of all of these artists, as a fan, not a fanatic, as a fan, as someone in the audience at time, as an observer, someone in media, yeah, I wanted to see them bring out the best of the best in each other, because the industry been hyping this battle up for 14 years, the big three. The industry created that paradigm and put y'all in it, J. Cole. I don't even think when he's saying they instigate the effery, they wanted what? They wanted clicks. They should be the industry that created the big three conversation. Because I don't want nothing to happen to none of these people at all. When J. Cole keeps saying they, what does he mean by he wouldn't have lost the battle, would have lost the bro? Like, who's doing all of that? I'm asking J. Cole, how he know that is that serious? What was J. Cole hearing to make him speculate or immediately drop out in that way? What didn't Schoolboy Q tell J. Cole that he might want to bow out the battle? But who told you to apologize? When he says he wouldn't have lost the battle, J. Cole, you saying you would have won? Now you want to pop it, J. Cole? Like, I don't know, y'all. This is, but the bars in this is fire. Then he says, just to attain some more props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for. Since the age of 14, Jermaine is no king. If that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay a whole team of algorithm bot ends just to sway the whole thing on social media, competing for your favorable means to be considered best of life and rest. The weight of both things, I understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing. Dang. Protecting legacies, so lines got crossed, perhaps regrettably. My friends went to war, I walked away with all day blood on. Whoa. When J. Cole said, but if no team draft King, he gon' bet the block. I don't think J. Cole was talking about himself there, because now, in the second verse, he's talking about since the age of 14, Jermaine is no king. So when he was talking about the king and someone getting drafted, I don't think he was talking about himself. I think he was talking about an experience that kind of brings a lot of people together, which is inner city single mom, single dad kind of thing. When he says the algorithm bot N-words just to sway the whole thing on social media, competing for your favorable memes, that's crazy. I think he was talking to both Drake and Kendrick. Because Drake did that with Meek Mill. I don't know why Drake dropped the ball on that Meek Mill back-to-back promo. Kendrick had that on his side. Drake was accused of using bots. And now we're hearing that Kendrick Lamar is using bots too. When J. Cole said he understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing, protecting legacies, so lines got crossed, perhaps regrettably. His friends went to war, he walked away with all the blood on him. I think J. Cole is doing too much. What blood are you talking about? None of these gentlemen got hurt. None of these gentlemen will get hurt from this battle at all. None of these gentlemen will get hurt regardless. J. Cole, what are you talking about? Whose blood, bro? Then he says, now some will discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree, but please find an N-word that's out rapping this incredibly. Dog texted me, share the words he said to me. If you refuse to shoot a gun, don't mean the gun ain't deadly. I guess in that metaphor, hypothetically, the gun is me. I'm texting back like, guess the gun ain't what I'm trying to be, man. They stripped me on my spot and now I'm finally free, man. Whoa. So J. Cole, you wanted to be out the big three? They stripped me of his spot. Well, maybe that could be J. Cole saying he never wanted to be a King. Maybe this is J. Cole's way of saying he don't want to be a king. Because y'all know what they do to kings. They chop their what? Wow. Then J. Cole says, they say I'm picking sides, don't you lie on me, man. To start another war, Drake, you'll always be, man. I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, man. F all the narratives. Tapping back into your magic pen is what's imperative. Reminding these folks why we do it. It's not for beefing. It's for speaking our thoughts. Pushing ourselves. Reaching the charts. Reaching your minds. Deep in your heart. Screaming to find emotions to touch. Something inside to open you up. Help you cope with the rough times and ish. I'm sending love cause we ain't promised ish. Man, whoa. J. Cole went in on that. Then at the end he says they say he picking sides. Don't you lie on him. I think J. Cole wrote that last part last. I know that might sound a bit cliche, but I think Cole had the majority of this song already done. And I think he wrote that last part of it like a few weeks ago. When he says, hey Drake, you'll always be my, I ain't ashamed to say what you did for me, my, F all the narratives. What, you mean the narratives of Kendrick Lamar to not like us winning? Even though Family Matters is a way better song, what narratives is J. Cole speaking about? Because when he says, it seems, I don't know if he's saying that he thinks Kendrick won. But look, when he says they stripped him of his spot and now he finally free, he's happy to be out of that conversation, it seems. Now, J. Cole, here's the thing. Your next album gotta be like a hip-hop undeniable classic. If you're gonna say they stripped him of his spot and now you finally free, you got your masters back from Jay-Z, you're able to tour, go around the world whenever you want. People are speculating that J. Cole might have the best feature run since Wayne. If his next project isn't on everywhere, every song is like this, then I don't know if that was a good move. But you know what? J. Cole actually, it looks like he has been on a run. I ain't gonna lie. I actually see what J. Cole is talking. You know what? This gonna make me listen to J. Cole's whole catalog. I actually see what he's saying. You know what? There is some in this that J. Cole ain't saying. It's like he said it without saying it, but I want to know what made J. Cole think that he got blood on his shirt. Why does J. Cole have ketchup on his shirt? Nothing happened to Drake and Kendrick. The fact that that energy was said, I seen a few people say that gotta stop. People gotta stop trying to like quantumly entangle other events in hip hop and just let artists stand by themselves. Biggie and Tupac, they didn't even make it to 30 years old, unfortunately, and blessings to them and their families. Kendrick and Drake, they 40. They're gonna be 40 soon. These are independent storylines. Every time two major artists are beefing, you don't always gotta connect it to Biggie and Tupac and like try to entangle them and make it some weird depressing. You feel me? When J. Cole said tapping back into your magic pen is what's imperative. Yeah, cause when it come to Drake and him speaking to the heart, him opening up on the music and making himself vulnerable, he doesn't do it as like he did before. He doesn't even come on camera the same. Y'all ain't realize Drake don't even come on camera the same. And I get why he does that. You know, it's like you want to be mindful of how you express emotion on camera. In the same regard, J. Cole is saying, yo, get back to that pen. That's what the people want from you. That's what the people need from you. Tap back into that heart. That's what made the people love you in the first place, and push it to the next level, the next limit. I ain't gonna lie, I see what J. Cole is saying on this song, but I think he got a bit outlandish when he's saying they wanted blood. And like, yo, J. Cole, what made you say that? What did Schoolboy Q tell you when they said that you told him, when they said that he told you to back out the beef? What exactly made the Drake and Kendrick thing so serious? But one thing, when J. Cole mentioned that Drake did a lot for him and he's not ashamed to say it, that's almost a challenge. Like, yo, Kendrick, you gonna keep acting like you and A$AP Rocky wasn't in front of 2,000 people with Drake when he bought y'all out like 10 years ago? So J. Cole, he's honestly the most transparent out of all of them. He's straight for the people, straight on the people's side. I think he's no holds barred. He's explaining everything, but the only thing is he's not explaining why. Why did you pull the plug? What made you notice that this wasn't just a regular rap battle after Kendrick Lamar dissed y'all on like that? What was some things that you saw, or as I mentioned, what did Schoolboy Q tell you to make you change your approach? In that same regard though, when he challenges Kendrick Lamar to just be a little bit honest, Kendrick Lamar has the hip-hop Jesus kind of thing going on, but yet he has a whole bot team. Dude got the K-bots is a real thing. But then you're a industry darling. You know, it's like, yo, Kendrick Lamar is all over the place. You feel me? And I think J. Cole is kind of saying that without saying it, but he is making points. J. Cole wasn't brought out on tour by Drake when he first got put in front of thousands of people. So what else did Drake do for J. Cole that he's not ashamed to say? Because if Kendrick can't say, or if he's ashamed to say it, and we only got to see it in interviews from 10 years ago, that kind of speaks a little bit to what J. Cole is creating here. Who knows, right? Could be wildin'. That just opens up a whole other door to a world of questions. What is really going on there? Like, it's not just who's the best MC anymore, or is some other ish messing up the rap game? Like, what is really going on? But y'all let me know if we wildin'. Y'all know it's Astrosthetics. Let's get it, babe. Yeah.